I don't know about you guys, but I don't like this game. I fucking love this game, and this has been an awaited remaster for quite some time. I mean, I've been awaiting this game since the day I've been playing it on PS1 when I was a kid at my aunt's house. It was brilliant. I mean, a few years back when this game got announced, it was quite concerning because it looked like people wasn't going to get it for console. But that's different now, as we're getting it on PS5, Xbox, we're getting it on Nintendo Switch. And of course we're getting it on the Master Race, the PC. Tomb Raider would make its debut in 1996. A game that was very revolutionary for PlayStation 1 and still holds up today as being one amongst the greats. It was the beginning of a great saga that would continue to go on to be something special, with the legendary protagonist Lara Croft that we all know and love as the ultimate heroine, who is an adventurer, a seeker of thrills and a treasure hunter. So with the announcement of Tomb Raider being remastered, of course there's a lot to be excited about because we're getting the trilogy of 1, 2 and 3, and all of the games from what we remember playing are as epic as they've always ever been. Only this time they're going to be running a lot better and having additional content. So like way back in March 2018, Realtek VR announced that it was working on remasters of the original Tomb Raider trilogy, which would be available on Steam and free for owners of the originals. A week later the whole thing was cancelled, as it turned out that Realtek didn't actually have permission from Square Enix to do it. It was a disappointing outcome for the all-time Tomb Raider fans, but today it's finally time to turn that frown upside down, guys. Come on, turn it upside down, because an officially sanctioned remaster is on the way. And revealed by Nintendo Direct, Tomb Raider 1 to 3 Remastered, that's the official title on Steam, will have the look of the original games, but will be spiffed up with enhanced graphics. Although you can switch back to the OG look if that's what you're liking. I mean, I like the OG looks. I mean, come on, who doesn't love Lara Croft's pointy, sharp nipples? Yes guys, as you could imagine, that's the only reason why I'm buying the remaster, so I can go back and look at the OG razor sharp boobs. I mean, come on guys, they're definitely on point, no pun intended. And when it comes to the graphics, I really can't complain, because I love everything how it's kept the originality from the first one, but just really buffed up and made it look a bit more pleasing on the eye, if you will. So this game has been tweaked just right to run on modern hardware. Along with the base games, the remaster collection will also include all of Tomb Raider trilogy expansions, Unfinished Business for Tomb Raider, the Gold Mask for Tomb Raider 2, and the Lost Artifact for Tomb Raider 3. And despite being announced during Nintendo Direct and featured on the PlayStation blog, Tomb Raider 1 to 3 Remastered is confirmed for PC. In fact, you can wishlist it now on Steam. And as you might expect from this games of this vintage, the first Tomb Raider debuted in 1996, the system requirements are not too demanding. Now this, everybody, is the perfect example of how a remaster should be, because not only are we actually getting additional content for the game instead of it being cut like usually with other games, and aside from all the enhancements that the game's going to offer, we're getting absolutely everything that's going to make this game run smoothly. I mean, we can't ask for a whole lot more. Like, yeah, sure, the graphics could be like modern day Tomb Raider games like The Shadow of Tomb Raider, but at the same time it still holds up just being the way that it is. And in fact there's a charming quality about keeping the originality, but just making it look a bit more appealing. The disappointing thing is that there's some developers out there that don't really offer much in terms of content or any new changes. Like for example, when I made the video on the Master Collection for Metal Gear Solid, it's just not a Master Collection. It's a game we've actually previously owned for consoles, and people are getting it all wrong. Because I'm basically saying it's probably worth getting it for PC, because it's the first time it's going to be ported there. I mean, for me it doesn't make no sense, especially for the Nintendo Switch users, which apparently now I've been told that they can uncap the game, which is good news. But of course, there's those people out there on the internet that lack the brain cells and the common sense to actually appreciate games and understand that in today's modern era that we should be having games running at great performance no matter how old they are. But at the same time I feel like I'd be wasting my breath for trying to explain to them exactly just common factors for how things should be. You know, why play a game that doesn't offer anything new or give us any performances? I mean, the perfect example of this is Tomb Raider Remastered. Not only is it actually more better performing, it's actually looking amazing, and we're actually getting additional content. Start taking notes, Konami. It always seems to be the same kind of comments coming from the same particular people, like your cringy weeaboo soy boy neckbeard beta males who love the idea of developers pushing out games that offer nothing new, that take up all your money and just gladly get teabagged and lap up all the dog shit that the developers are giving them.
Birthday to you.
I mean, in all honesty, these guys have low standards in gaming. It's quite pathetic, but then again, it's their right and it's their opinion. But some of the comments make me laugh, as one guy pointed out, "Oh, I don't care if the game runs at 30 FPS, it's all about the story and everything else." And I'm thinking, well, what good is all the story and shit if the game's running at a fucking snail pace? Then it just takes away from the experience. I mean, we've got to give credit where it's due for Tomb Raider. This absolutely amazing trilogy that has lived on throughout history as being one of the most amazing fun adventure games of all time. And ASPYR Studios have really done this game justice by giving it everything it needs as a remaster. And this isn't me hating on the Metal Gear Solid franchise. I love that game. I grew up with them games. In fact, that whole game is my inspiration behind making content in the first place. I mean, a lot of my content is based on Metal Gear Solid. I love that game. I'm just really passionate about video games and Metal Gear in general that I'm just highly disappointed, because in the Master Collection I was at least expecting a little better performance. But I'm still going to get called childish and arrogant, but I'm sure there's many people who feel the same way I do. We just have gaming standards and can call bullshit out when these devs put something out that we've already received previously. It's truly hilarious how much I've scarred these commenters.
You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. How dare you!
And to give you guys even more good news about Tomb Raider, and perhaps the most exciting news, is the various quality of life features. The original Tomb Raider was a relatively early 3D game, created in an era before analog sticks, and it's a little awkward to control in modern hands. The remasters include the ability to switch back and forth between classic and modern joystick control schemes, as well as the camera lock-on for when you're murdering a jungle's worth of endangered species. I mean, all three games are being sold together for a respectable $25 to $30, and there's a Steam page now if you already own the original Tomb Raider 1, 2 or 3 on Steam, or the original Tomb Raider Trilogy bundle on the GOG, you will get an extra 20% discount when pre-ordering the remaster. Need I say any more, guys, that this is how you bring about a brand new remaster, or in a sense a master collection, which Konami has again failed to do by ripping off its consumers, especially for those who are on console, to not be able to at least get a discount for a game that is worth $50 fucking for a game that is practically old, and they haven't offered any kind of new features or performance enhancements, unlike the great Tomb Raider, which has got new performance, graphical upgrades, different controller schemes to suit the modern era, and the game only comes to an absolute bargain of $22. If anything, Tomb Raider deserves to be selling for $50 simply just because of how much it has to offer. But this just comes to show you guys, these devs actually value you as a gamer and actually want to give you a game that runs amazingly well and offers us actually additional content. The fact is, guys, I've just proven my point, and the people I'm talking about is your typical cringy soy boy idiots who leave the pathetic comments down below that have no common sense, because the devs who have made Tomb Raider are the perfect example on how to do remasters and actually care about us as the consumer and as video game players. Well, anyway guys, that's all for today's video. Leave me a comment in the section down below, tell me what you think, and remember guys, stay based and stay Sigma. This is the Voice Box, and I'm out.